Good morning. Thank you for being back here with Harmony Yoga. Hey, today we're going to do a little pre-walk yoga. So I don't know what you've got going on in your life, but I'm going to be going on a walk here in just a few minutes. And have you ever noticed sometimes it takes a little bit when you get either running, walking, hiking, takes a little bit to get warmed up. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to try it today. What happens if I do my yoga practice before I walk? Does it make the walk just a little more enjoyable? So join me today for this quick practice. And let's start out sitting nice and tall. And I like to sit up on a little bolster here, kind of work your hips back, and then let your hips cascade over the front of your bolster, block, pillow, fold it up. Kind of a firmer blanket would work also. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching up through the crown of the head. Turn up the corners of your mouth and close your eyes. Become present in this space. And now I'm going to guess that some of you are saying, oh my gosh, there's so much going on in my mind right now, it's really hard to become present. So we call this the monkey mind. And I want to read to you, this is from the Daily Om, Taming the Monkey Mind. And the article says this, that we all have the endless chattering and noise in our head, often referred to as the monkey mind. It is the endless chattering in your head as your mind jumps from thought to thought. Maybe this is while you daydream, analyze your relationships, or worry over the future. Eventually you start to feel like your thoughts are spinning in circles and you're left totally confused. Well, one way to tame the mind is through meditation. However, the paradox is that when you clear your mind for meditation, you actually invite the monkey into your mind to play. And this is when you're given the opportunity to become aware of a thought rather than thinking a thought. The difference is subtle but significant. When you are aware of your thoughts, you can let your thoughts rise and float away without letting them pull you in different directions. So start by focusing on the breath while you meditate. And whether your monkey mind starts acting up, observe your thoughts, and then return your focus to your breath. Focus on the rise and fall of the breath through the abdomen or on the sound of the breath, keeping the gaze soft and unfocused, or have the eyes softly closed altogether. And then with kindness towards yourself, if the chattering arises, notice it and then allow it to go away. With practice, your monkey mind will become quiet, and so will you. So I read this to you, and we will practice this again at the end of our yoga practice today. But I mention this because a lot of times what people feel when they sit to be quiet is what prevents them from actually trying this practice. And over time, you get really good at it. So another way I've heard them say this is that kind of if you're looking up to a blue sky and all of a sudden a cloud comes by, kind of like the cloud in your mind, you just let the thought go by, you let the cloud go by, you don't have to attach yourself to it. And so through this meditation practice, we become better at having healthy detachment from certain things so that in our day-to-day life, we can notice what's healthy and what's not healthy in terms of what we're attaching to. Sometimes those are thoughts, sometimes those are people, sometimes it's an attitude or a belief, and we can start to separate out what really is serving us and what not. The other thing I want to remind you of today is that even if you don't feel like you're very good at sitting still, it is the act of doing this that actually supports and enhances the rest of your day. And the time that you take to meditate actually creates time. You will more than get this time back into your day. So I'm looking at the second hand here on a clock, and I would just encourage you to sit quietly, and I'm going to be quiet with you for just 1 minute and just notice the breath. Even count the breath if you like. Okay? So closing the eyes, sitting up nice and tall. Sigh out any held tension and be still with the breath. Gently begin to open your eyes and become present in this space. That was 1 minute. How did that go for you? You know, we can start so simply with just a minute, and maybe we work up to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Some people meditate twice a day for 45 minutes. That's one I haven't tackled. It seems a little too constraining to me to think about that amount of time. But maybe for you that would work. So I'm back in Utah where it's very dry. And so let's get started here. Go ahead and come to a standing position. Coming to the front of your mat, move your things out of the way. And let's begin by connecting with the breath from the standing position. So feet are parallel, hips width apart. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. And exhale, let the arms float back down. And this time, begin to bend your knees. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, release. Do that again. Continue in that pattern. Maybe as you bend the knees, maybe you sweep your fingertips across the floor. And maybe not. Just going with the flow, what feels right for you today. Good. The next time you come back up to the sky, stay here, and pushing down evenly through both feet, lean over to the right. Stay connected to the breath. On the next inhale, we rise, and exhale over to the left. Pushing down evenly through both feet. And inhale, rise. Exhale, come forward to forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release. Let's do that again. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. Walk your hands over to the outside of your right foot. Push your hips over to the left. Of course, you can be using a block as you do this. That would look like this. Come back to center. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release. And walk your hands over to the outside of your left foot. Either fingertips to the floor or any size of the block. You decide. Push your hips out to the right. Good, and come back to center. Bend your knees this time. Reach your hands forward to chair. Staying here or adding a twist. Bring your hands to the heart. Left elbow over right knee, or left hand to right knee and right hand behind you. So you've got a couple options here. If you're using your elbow on the knee, attempt to keep your knees even so one doesn't go ahead of the other. And then press the elbow into the knee and separate the elbows apart. Turn and look over the right shoulder. Come back forward. Take a breath in. Exhale out to the other side. Again, it can be the hand on the knee or the elbow. Now I can notice this opposite knee is starting to come forward. See if you can keep that knee back level with the left. Separating the elbows, the elbow and the knee pressed together, looking over the left shoulder. One more deep breath in. Exhale, center, and release all the way up to the sky, and release your hands down to your sides. Now, come to the front of your mat if you're not already there. And let's go around for a sun salutation here. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. Exhale, lower down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, release down. Again, you can be using the block here for this. Good. This time, bring the fingertips to the floor. Step your right leg back to deep lunge and move your hips side to side. Swivel your right heel down, grab the block, place it to the outside of your left ankle. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Triangle pose. Whisper of a bend in the left knee. Focusing on the breath. Noticing that little monkey mind. If that monkey comes back, just say, it's all right. I don't need to follow the monkey. Just let the monkey be. Bring your hand down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the right leg. Push your left hip back. Switch. Now, however you want to go back and forth with the breath. If you want to go one whole breath, bending the right leg, one whole breath, bending the left leg, or switching back and forth. Either way, the movement's connected to the breath, right? So you can switch left and right. So we begin opening up those tight spaces, letting the energy flow through. So you're pressing your fingertips down, hugging the arms together, moving the hip back of the straight leg. And then when you're ready, either drop your knees down, grab the right foot, bring it up between your hands, or swing it around with a straight back leg. Either way, move your hips here side to side. And then take the block to the outside of your right ankle, swivel your left heel down, lift up so both legs are straight, reach the left arm up to the sky, turn and look up to that left hand. The right knee is not bent, but it's not hyperextended either. It's straight with a whisper of a bend. Good. Bring the left hand down, step forward, forward fold, bringing your hands to the hips, elbows to the sky. Good. Lift up. Now we're going to go into a warrior three pose here. And there's multiple ways we can come in and out of the pose, so let me just kind of play around with this with you. So go ahead and join me here, balancing on your left foot, take the right foot back. So the left is going to be the balance leg. We're going to lift the right, but let's start out by creating a long line of energy here, lifting the arms up toward the sky. And then shift your hips back while you reach the hands forward and begin lifting the right leg. Attempt to rotate the toes toward the earth. That's going to feel like a lot on your left leg. Now you can stay here, or if you would like to reach down to the block, feel free to do that, and then even more, try to turn the toes toward the floor, moving the hips back. Good, bring that foot down to the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky, bring the hands together to the heart, close the eyes. Continue taking those nice deep breaths. And then reach the arms up to the sky, step the left foot back, shifting your weight onto your right foot. Move the hips back, reach the hands forward, come into warrior two or warrior three on this side. And now if you need to touch down with the left foot, you can, or keep the leg lifted, rotate the toes toward the earth. Reach down and find the block if that feels better for you, or you can reach a countertop, the wall, whatever feels right for you here, rotating the toes toward the earth even more, moving that foot back. Reach the foot down to the floor. Inhale again, all the way up, bring the hands back to the heart. Close the eyes. Now, if you're like me, as you get going, go ahead and release your hands, release your eyes. If you're like me, as you get going here, the monkey doesn't have so much power over you because you're trying to focus on your breath, you're trying to focus to not fall over, you're trying to follow my suggestions. So the monkey kind of takes a little back seat, and that's the idea of your practice here, really becoming present on the mat. And this practice has really helped me become present in such a great way. Balance on the left foot, bring the right foot either to the ankle, the shin, or the upper thigh. Hips are forward, knee is open to the side. Draw the ribs back, bring the hands to the heart. Press in to that imaginary midline. And shift your gaze up. See if that helps you stay more lifted and upright. Then you can reach the arms up, or you can keep them right here at your heart, or maybe even behind you. Wow, I'm kind of struggling here this morning, and that's okay. Maybe you are too. We meet each other right where we're at. Meet ourselves right where we're at as well. Good. Finding, maybe it takes 3 times to get up and feel stable and strong. No worries there. Good, let's release that side. So spread the toes wide on the right foot. Balancing now on the right foot. Left foot, again, shin, or ankle, shin, or upper thigh. Hips are facing forward, knee out to the side. Hands, we start here, we press the hands together, press the leg and the foot together. And we try to not fall over, but we're gentle with ourselves if we do. Yes. Keeping the heart lifted, the gaze lifted. And again, you can raise your arms, you can keep them at your heart or behind you. Either way, take one more deep breath in and release. Nice job. Take a wide stance here on your mat. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you can use your block for your hands, your block for your forehead. You can grab your ankles or reach your hands out in front. Either way, hug the legs in, roll in onto the inner edge of your foot, broaden from the pelvis down the legs, broadening the thighs apart, and then let the outside of your foot come back down to the ground. So do that again. Inhale, roll in. Exhale, send that energy down the legs, flattening the feet. Inhale, lift the head so the torso is parallel to the earth. Plant your left hand down. It can be up on a block. Maybe I'll try that this time. Fingertips up on the block. Reach the right arm up to the sky for a gentle twist. Good, and switch. Good, and release. Lower onto the ground. Lay onto your back. Press your elbows down and lift your hips up to bridge pose. So you can even walk your feet closer to your hips, but toes are parallel. Toes are facing the short end of your mat. Feet are parallel. And then as you lift, scoop the tailbone towards your knees. Press through all 4 corners of both feet and press your hands down next to where your hips were. Walk your shoulders underneath you. Take another deep breath in and lower. Hug your right knee into your chest and lengthen the left leg long on the mat. Take the left hand and grab the outside of the right knee, right hand out to the side. Slowly twist the knee over to the left and turn and look over your right arm. Back to center, hug that knee in again, and release. Hug the left knee in, closer to the chest, lengthening through the right leg. So the right leg is active. Toes are lifted and separated on both feet. Right hand grabs the outside of the left knee, takes it across the body. Turn and look over the left shoulder. One more deep breath in. Exhale, come back. This time hug both knees into the chest. And then lengthen both legs out long. Palms face up, closing the eyes. Feel the pulsation of the breath and the heartbeat in the body. Notice the state of the mind. Softening the jaw. Letting go of the ears, move the ears closer toward the earth. Softening the scalp. Letting the breath freely come into the belly without force or a contrived action here. It's just letting the breath in the belly be soft. I would like to read to you again from our meditation from earlier about the monkey mind. As you stay in this Shavasana position, I will repeat this last paragraph. Start by focusing on the breath. Whenever your monkey mind starts acting up, observe your thoughts. And return your focus to the breath. Focus on the rise and fall of the breath through the abdomen, or you can even focus on the sound of the breath. Keep your eyes gently closed, and with kindness toward yourself, if the chattering arises, notice it and then allow it to go away. With practice, your monkey mind will become quiet, and so will you. Staying here in the Shavasana position as long as you like, or join me in this upright position by hugging the knees to your chest and rolling onto the right side and gently pushing yourself up to the seated position from that sideways position. It's best for your back, for your central nervous system. So coming upright slowly, intentionally, we keep that softness, the quietness that we've created. And we've really shifted away from the sympathetic side of the nervous system to the parasympathetic side, where peace and healing, the rest and digest parts of the body, away from the agitation that we might feel before our practice. We try to stay in this mode as long as we can throughout our day. It makes our yoga practice daily so essential as we move out and about into our world. So either from a lying position or from this upright posture, we just offer gratitude for this practice, for these teachings, and for all of the blessings in our lives that come from many forms. We get these messages. If we open to them, these messages come from a lot of different places. So may you find additional messages of peace today. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Get out and move, no matter the weather. Keep moving.